Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in this video we're going to be discussing the first two Ashes tests and the options for England to go from here. So how are we doing? 2-0 down and a long way from winning the test match is probably the best summary of where we are. 2-day loss at Perth, 4-day loss at the Gabba, didn't really compete in either of them, and we seem to be incapable of playing Mitchell Starc, who is bowling really well, but he's not bowling the way I'd expect a guy to be bowling to take this. There's a lot of wickets that England are giving him, rather than he's taking through sheer force of him being really good. But he is bowling beautifully, and he's now the leading left arm fast bowler in the world in terms of wickets, and he's the second highest wicket taker among left armers in general. Aranga Heath is the only one ahead of him. So, one on the Gabba, got hammered. Root hit his first test century down under and everyone was thinking, ooh, we've got a chance here. But then we just handed runs to Australia and they racked up 511 and none of them got 100. So that tells you something. Then Australia's tail was brilliant. So Starc hits 77 of 141 balls, which is a better effort than most of England's top order across this series so far. He also had Scott Boland hang around for a while. I think they lasted their partnership was 27.2 overs or something, which was basically as long as England's first innings in Perth. It's like those two, 9 and 10 for Australia could last that long. England's lower order, despite all the talk about how good they are at batting, flopped. And then when we batted again, aside from Stokes and Jacks, there was no resistance. It genuinely looked, until Stokes and Jacks were batting together, like we were going to lose by an innings. They prevented that, but once they got out, the tail flopped again, and so Australia raced to target about 100, raced to target about 65. It was nothing unexpected, really, to be honest. The way we played, Australia are always going to win, because our style of cricket is currently seen as just play whatever shot we feel like and get out time and time again in basically the same way. So what changes could be made? Well, Mark Wood's out now with an injury. Rest of the series, that is a problem. So Matthew Fisher has been called up into the squad. I think that's a good call. I like Fisher, but I'm just curious as to whether he'll actually ever play. I think he could come to the side, as could Bashir, as could Potts. That would be good, because Carson, Atkinson, Archer really need a break as well. But I think Archer's been our best bowler, so he probably won't go. Bethell could come into the side as a batsman. He's probably the main spare batsman. The only problem is, which of the top order do you drop to bring Bethell in? And to be honest, there have been players who've impressed more for the Lions than Bethell. I think if you look at the Lions side, Jacob Bethell is not the standout amongst them. So there's a big question of, is he really a good choice to bring in? And who do you drop anyway? He won't open, so they won't drop Crawley or Duckett for him. 3 maybe, but Pope's not been that bad compared to the rest of the top order. Brook is playing dash shots, but my fear is the way Brook plays might resemble the way Bethell will play, so I don't think that's going to do anything. And Bethell can't keep, so Jamie Smith is going to have to keep his spot. Any of the bowlers really could go, they all need a rest, and Carter's the leading wicket taker, but he's not bowling great. Archer's bowling well, without rewards, and so who do you bring in here? How do you rotate it? That's going to be the question from McCullum and Stokes to answer. Jacks can definitely keep his place though. 41 off 92 balls. Yes, England needed more in that second innings of the Gabba. But to be honest, the guy has basically just played T20 cricket aside from a couple of county matches for Surrey in the Championship over the past 2 years. He's a very good T20 player. Very dynamic, attacking batsman. So I was worried when I saw him on this tour, because I was like, is that going to work? But he showed real maturity in that innings. And yes, he got out, but it was a better innings than most of the rest of the side produced in that innings. It was what they needed. And so, I think Jackson can keep his place. Where he bats, we'll see. Right. So, what I think an England 11 should look like for the third test. So, I think Duckett, open. Crawley, open. Crawley is suited to Australia. Crawley is picked for 3 innings a series, basically. So, he's had 4 out of a possible 10. That leaves him to get 3 scores out of the next 6 innings. I think Crawley might be able to do it. Adelaide's also a better... Excuse me. Adelaide is also a smaller ground, so it might suit England better. I'm moving Root to 3 because I'm putting Jackson at 4. Jackson showed maturity. I want him up the order because I need room in the bowling attack. So Root and Jacks. I'm dropping Pope and keeping all Jacks. Oh, sorry, no. I'm dropping Brook because Brook's shot selection has really annoyed me. So I think Pope should come in at 5 because I think Pope bats better at 5 or 6. So Pope for me at 5. Jacks is at 4. You could switch them around, but I think Pope at 5 and Jacks at 4 is around. Stokes, captain. You can't change captain in the middle of an Ashes tour. It won't work. So I think Stokes at 6. Maybe at 5 and Pope at 6 is another option. That might work. But I think it depends how Stokes is feeling. Smith as wicketkeeper. I think you've got to back Smith as keeper. He is the number 1 keeper for this England side. And regardless of whether they go off to this Ashes, they have to back him for this third test and say, actually, we believe you can do it. Because Smith needs that. I'm saying Archer at 8 because I think Archer's batted better than an 11. And I think we need him to bat there because we need a bit. And then also with the ball, he's been our number 1 bowler. He's been really good. We need him at Adelaide to try and get us back in the series. We have to win this. He's our best bowler. We've just got to go again with him. Fisher. Yes, I know he's just come into the side, but he's a good bowler. He's rated one of the best bowlers to the Kookaburra ball in the county championship. Not as quick as some of the other options in the squad, but given the way Nisa bowled, I think he might be a worthwhile option. Shadab Bashir. There may be points on days 1 and 2 where he just fields. He doesn't bowl at all. But Adelaide does turn on the last couple of days. So if we can get it to that stage, he'll come in his own. And I think Jackson Root could be useful then as well. And number 11, Matthew Potts. Because he's really good. Potts just a bit fuller than good. Length. On and around off stump. I think he'll do something similar to Nisa. I think him and Fisher could be useful. And also Potts and Fisher can bowl longer spells, which means that Archer can be rested, but Bashir doesn't have to be bowled loads early on. Will it make any difference? Probably not. In all honesty, I think we are going to lose drastically this Ashes because it's hard to see how we come back. But I think we can. It's possible. It would be history. But anything really is possible with this England side. If they can get themselves back on track, then I think a win 3-2 is still possible. But I fear that's not going to happen. If we continue playing the Ashes like this, there will be changes I think the ECB will have to make. But what those are, I don't think anyone can really figure out till after the Ashes is finished and where we are as England side of that. Hopefully we don't have to make too many, but I think we will. Well, hopefully England can actually do something at Adelaide. Even if they lose, at least look like they might be competing. That's the one thing I ask of England. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.